Animals roam an otherworldly-looking garden. Naked nymph-like humans frolic in the water with mermaids. Demonic creatures hold pitchforks against a hellish backdrop. This is the Garden of Earthly Delights, a triptych by 16th century Dutch artist Hieronymus Bosch, and one of the most iconic, analysed and reproduced pieces of art ever. Now it's been given a modern makeover of the emoji kind. It's the brainchild of New York-based artist Carla Ganis, who not only recreated Bosch's work to scale and down to the last detail, she also brought it to life with animations. Why did you decide to recreate Hieronymus Bosch's Garden of Earthly Delights? And why emojis?
Well, I think particularly because he's been re-embraced in the 20th and now the 21st centuries. First by artists like the Surrealists, who were studying dreams and the subconscious, and they looked at Bosch's work, which is very hard to decipher exactly what he's saying. Because if you think of it within the context of the 16th century, you can think of it as a morality tale. But when you start to deconstruct, or even when you just start to examine the painting, there are lots of elements of humor, absurdity, some perversity, some darkness. And so for centuries, I believe artists and art historians have been kind of scratching their head trying to figure out what exactly all of the symbologies mean. Well, right now, today, we're using emoji as our contemporary sign system, kind of use a shorthand to express emotion. So I was thinking a lot of that isn't codified yet either. We don't have a grammar for this emoji, so it'll be really fun to play with those two vernaculars, with Bosch's original kind of iconography that we still don't know exactly what it means, and this emoji iconography that we're still developing, and put those two together.
Ganis spent a year painstakingly putting it all together, starting by sketching out the original, then digitally adding her emoji figures. As she worked on the piece, she was surprised at how well the modern symbols matched the iconography of the ancient artwork.
As I began pairing emoji with Bosch's symbology, really funny, there were certain icons that just matched one-to-one, like skulls and keys and all of these things. And so at first I felt like, well, what I'm finding out is, even though we live in this highly technologically advanced culture, very little has changed in a way. A lot has changed, but there is a atavistic tendency in humans to need symbols to express themselves and to think about the world through these particular tropes.
Ganis, who teaches digital arts at Pratt University in New York, wasn't satisfied with a static recreation of the work and decided to take it one step further.
To think about the 21st century and the time that we exist in today, which is very dynamic, which is hyper-mediated, we're used to seeing moving images all of the time, I thought it was necessary to take it into that realm and to animate the entire triptych, and then to animate little characters or little groupings of characters. That's where I actually got to be more an author, I think, in a way, because I got to tell stories or expand the stories that were given to me by Bosch.
Not only can Ganis expand on the stories, she can also explain the meaning behind them, unlike Bosch, whose inspirations remain a mystery. Ganis says her work can be read as a critique on today's consumer culture and destruction to the environment.
In my Eden, it is overrun with different consumer items again, and various things from pop culture. We see hot dogs and all of these things. I actually call that middle island part the Isle of Lost Tech. And so it's building up with all of this technology that we no longer use, that is obsolete. And I feel like that's a real issue actually today.
The animations aren't the only adaptation Ganis has made of Bosch's work. Her and a colleague created a 3D printed sculpture of one of the characters in the triptych that many art historians say is his self-portrait. She's also by far not the only person to reimagine the 16th century icon's art, and says she understands why his work still resonates today.
Now we're art in the age of digital reproduction, and so we tend to think nothing's original, nobody's original, everybody's kind of copying. Maybe we love Bosch so much because he was an original. He was really, for his time, such an original artist with this amazing vision that no one else was kind of there yet.
As galleries around the world celebrate that vision this year on Bosch's 500th centenary, his work looks set to make many feel like a love heart emoji for many more years to come. Jade Barker, TRT World, New York.